people. They put me in office and treat me like it's illegal to feed the people, to feed the people.
They start with people that they believe that they can flip. They go down the line. They show up at 6 o'clock in the morning when a person is not lawyered up, when a person is just waking up, and they're telling you, oh, I'm here to just to talk to you and be nice to you and don't worry about it, and you're not under arrest, and then we're going to leave and we're not going to arrest you today, but here are some questions that we have for you. So immediately a person puts his foot in the mouth, and from there they're the fish is caught.
Is that what they did with Lacy?
To a certain degree, yes.
Man, listen, bro. I knew it was only a matter of time, bro. Everybody, to be honest, clap it up for everybody in the city of Dolton, because they're about to get packed up. Everybody's about to go to jail, and it's all starting from Mr. Louis Lacy. But there's a saying that's very popular. There's no honor amongst thieves. Louis Lacy is a fucking crook, a thief. Keith Freeman is a fucking crook, a thief. Tiffany Henyard, the people's mayor, the super mayor, is the biggest crook on this planet. So do you think out of all these three people working together, breaking the law, do you think there's going to be some honor amongst them? Hell no. Especially not amongst Louis Lacy and Keith Freeman. These are the most crooked individuals that I know. And, we always talk shit about Tiffany Henyard because she's the really flamboyant and explosive one who's ready to, pop off at the mouth. The quiet ones, like Louis Lacy and Keith Freeman, are actually the ones who are top tier manipulators. Mind you, Keith Freeman's the one who handled the money because Lacy and Henyard were too fucking stupid to do that. So who do you think is the smartest one? But anyways, I want to bring it back to the recent weeks because there's a development for Louis Lacy and Keith Freeman. And we're going to start with Louis Lacy because, man, I thought he was Tiffany's homeboy. I thought it was ride or die. I thought he was driving that nice Dodge Durango around the city because of Tiffany. But no. No honor amongst thieves, man, because Mr. Louis Lacy apparently has signed a plea deal. According to the Illinois Leaks website, go check it for yourself. He signed a plea deal admitting, to bankruptcy fraud, all types of different fraudulent acts. Up to 9 of them, I heard. Up to 9 of them. So what do you think he's going to do? Do you think when he signs that plea deal, he's not going to talk about Tiffany? Well, don't worry. I can give you the answer. He 100,000% is going to talk about Tiffany because it is in the fine print of the man's actual plea deal. He has to give information willingly about any case that prosecution wants to ask him about. Bro, Tiffany's fucked. It's over with, gang. Because, again, the man doing this alone is facing 24 to 30 months in jail. Do you think he's going to stand tall for some who's not even in power anymore? Hell no. But anyways, there's a development with him. There's a development with Keith Freeman. And I want to start with Lacy. Let's get through this intro real quick, and I will actually show you the plea deal that this man signed. A former police chief, or whatever the fuck he was. That's got to be that has to be all types of level of disgrace for him and his last name. I would be so embarrassed. But anyways, run the intro. Let's go ahead and check this out. So I want to take you guys back to when he faced his bankruptcy charge, because this is not something that just happened. We always knew that Louis Lacy was a crooked, stealing, conniving piece of shit. So anyways, it goes. On November 21st, 2025, former Dolton Police Chief Louis Lacy pled guilty to bankruptcy fraud. Lacy was appointed to his position during the disastrous mayoral regime. It felt like a regime. During the disastrous mayoral reign of Tiffany Henyard, the people's mayor, the super mayor. That bitch always cracked me up, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. But let's continue. We urge you to read both the guilty plea and the plea agreement to grasp the extent of what he pled guilty to. Now, mind you, you have to use your brain. Prosecutors, if they only wanted Lacy for his bankruptcy fraud, they would have done just that. They would have charged him. They would have taken care of him. He would have been sent to jail, or he would have did his plea and it would have been all over. But the fact that they caught him for bankruptcy fraud, and then in the plea deal, they said, well, you're going to have to give us information about anything we want to know. That goes to show you that they're looking for someone bigger than him. He's just a little guy. Literally, Lacy is like 5'8" or some shit. He's just a little guy. You know, they're going for the big dog, Tiffany Henyard. But anyways, let's continue. By this plea agreement, defendant agrees to enter a voluntary plea of guilty to the following count of the superseding indictment. Count 1, which charges the defendant with devising a scheme to defraud for the purpose of executing and concealing the scheme and attempting to do so, filing a petition, and commencing a bankruptcy case under Title 11, I think that says, under Title 11 of the United States Code in violation of Title 18, United States Code section blah, 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 blah. Basically, committed bankruptcy. But that's what the feds do. They catch you on something small. And I wouldn't say bankruptcy is like the smallest thing in the world, but they catch you on the small thing to get you to do what they really want you to do. Now, Illinois Leaks posted the entire plea agreement, okay? But I want to scroll down. I'm gonna bring it to you, right? It's a nice little 15-page, plea agreement. You guys could go online and read it for yourself. But I want to go down to the section where it says in bold letters, cooperation. Oh shit, cooperation? That sounds familiar. That's when like two people get together and they cooperate and they do things. Oh, okay. What is Lacy cooperating with? Oh, well, we're going to find out. We're going to find out. Defendant agrees he will fully and truthfully cooperate in any matter in which he is called upon to cooperate by the representative of the United States Attorney's Office for the Northern District of Illinois. This cooperation shall include providing complete and truthful information in any investigation and pretrial preparation, and complete a truthful testimony in any criminal, civil, or administrative proceeding. Administrative, that red lights are dinging everywhere. The alarms are sounding off. Now, I'm not even sure if Tiffany Henyard is smart enough to fucking understand that this is happening. I'm pretty convinced that she's not going to know that this happened until I post the video, or Nate the lawyer, shout him out, or Nate the lawyer posted the video. She's not going to know until that happens. But trust me, when she finds out, red lights beaming everywhere because she knows she's next. Administrative, criminal, civil. Oh, no, this is not good. Bro. Honor amongst thieves, bro. You thought Lacy was going to protect you? And I don't even think she thought Lacy was going to protect her. I just think she was moving too fast. Tiffany Henyard's always on some cocaine, allegedly. I don't know. She's always on some uppers, allegedly. You know what I'm saying? So I don't even think she thought this thing all the way through. And now she's about to reap them consequences, bro. Listen. Them jail cells are going to be real cold. But let's move forward. Defendant agrees to the postponement of his sentencing until after the conclusion of his cooperation. Oh, my God. Guys, listen. I don't know if you're reading between the lines, gang. Tiffany's fucked.
You didn't go to Las Vegas? What is that?
No comment.
You don't know if you were in Las Vegas?
Of course I do.
Were you?
It's not paid by them.
Did you fly first class to Las Vegas?
Any other questions?
He wants to get back home to driving that Dodge Durango. That's what Louis Lacy's doing right now. Let's read this again. Defendant agrees to postpone his sentencing until after the conclusion of his cooperation. Now, mind you, Louis Lacy's not a young man by any means, right? Let's see how old he is. Okay, I don't want to lose my train of thought, but I believe he's in his 50s, right? He's not trying to spend no 30 something months in prison. He's not trying to do that. I'm sorry. And even though it's only, 30 some months, let's see. The recommended sentence is between 24 and 30 months, right? So that's between 2 years and like 2.5 years or some shit like that. Lacy's not going to do that. Oh, and another thing, he's not going to be charged anyway because they don't want Louis Lacy. They want Henyard. The second you see at the end, oh, we're going to push off your 24-month sentencing until after you cooperate, man, prosecution's going to give him a deal. He's going to spend 0 time in jail, and he's going to snitch his asshole off on Tiffany Henyard. I told y'all this shit was going to happen months ago. Y'all didn't believe me. I told y'all this shit was going to happen. Let's move forward, though, because it gets even juicier, okay? Because now we need to move over to Keith Freeman, because Keith Freeman has a whole bunch of weird shit happening for him as well. Let's check this out. And before we move on to Keith Freeman, I just wanted to show you the front of the plea. You know what I'm saying? United States of America, plaintiff versus Louis Lacy, defendant. They show you the order. They show you the judge. This is real life. This is happening right now. Okay, so this is not rumor. This is what the man has decided to do. And to be honest, can you blame him? Probably not, because let's be real. Tiffany would have done the same shit to him. The only reason Tiffany can't snitch on somebody to help herself is because she's the kingpin. She's on top of this. She runs this. You can't snitch on anybody because you're at the top already. They're coming for you. That's the only reason she hasn't done this. So in my opinion, snitch away, Mr. Lacy. And I don't even like his fat ass. I feel like he's a thorough piece of shit. But hey, snitch away, brother. Because, shit, you earned it. Anyways, let's move on to Keith Freeman, man. Let's move it forward. Former Dolton administrator Keith Freeman changes plea, postponed. Now, why would he do that? Well, you know what? Let's read some more. But I think if the gears are clicking in your brain, you would already understand why he postponed this hearing. Let's do it. Former Dolton administrator Keith Freeman's change of plea on his federal bankruptcy fraud charges postponed until March 4th, 2026. This is the 4th or 5th time that has been postponed, which makes us think other things may be in the works. That's all we need to see. Because let's think, let's use our brains, right? Let's have them fucking gears turning. March 4th, 2026. That's when his hearing is postponed. Louis Lacy is set to have his sentencing done in March 9th. But again, we're going to push his sentencing back until he cooperates. What is that telling you? It feels as though prosecution is taking Keith Freeman, they're taking Louis Lacy, and they're putting them together, and they're like, hey, before we fuck you guys, before we bend you over and we fuck you, maybe you can help yourself to get fucked a little less. You help us take this crazy bitch down, and we'll give you a little bit of leeway. Because, Keith Freeman is changing his plea. Louis Lacy is accepting pleas, but it's all getting pushed out up until the March area of time. Interesting, huh? It's just interesting. Just coincidences. Just all these coincidences and things. These coinky-dinks are popping up, and I'm just noticing them. Listen, man, the super mayor is about to be super incarcerated. But until then, folks, stay tuned, man. Stay tuned, because it kind of seems like between now and March, we're going to have some explosive shit with the Tiffany Henyard saga. Stay tuned, folks. I love you guys. Stay inside, stay safe. Thank you for coming out on this late night video. I'll see y'all tomorrow. I'm out.